You're making me do this. Why are you making me do this?
With the introduction of WandaVision back in January of this year, Disney Plus has become one of the biggest streaming platforms in the world, currently bringing Marvel fans up to speed with the post-Endgame snap in the form of the Falcon and Winter Soldier. There are quite a few fan theories out there regarding the future of the property, but what are these intricate theories, and do they have any likelihood of coming true through the runtime of the show? Well, whether you're a fan of the newest Marvel franchise or just want to know more about where the series could be taking us, stay right where you are as we're about to explore some of the greatest fan theories that have popped up over the last few years. So strap yourselves in and get ready for some crazy antics as things are about to get interesting. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any of the new videos that we post. Number 1, there'll be a tie-in with the upcoming Black Widow movie. It's no secret that the global health situation caused quite a stir in the world of Marvel, with a solid year passing without a single property from the studio being released. This also meant that a number of films had to be placed on the back burner, with the standalone Black Widow movie being one of them. In fact, if you remember back to the original MCU timeline, Black Widow was the property that was supposed to start it all, with theories being present that the title would introduce us to the mutant kind for the first time. Then things changed though, with the film being delayed until after the release of both WandaVision and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We also know that both Sam and Bucky had to involve themselves in some reshoots, with the original plot pertaining to the Flag Smashers being quite close to what we are currently experiencing with the global health situation. Since so much of us had to change due to the situation, many have begun to theorize that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier may in fact have a tie-in to the Black Widow film, which is set before the snap even takes place. How could this be when the franchise we're currently enjoying is set after the events of Endgame though? Well, we've already seen that the Power Broker was able to get a version of the Super Soldier Serum to work, resulting in the superhuman abilities of the Flag Smashers. And although it might be true that Baron Zemo went ahead and broke the remainder of these doses, it's not the first time we've seen vials like these. In fact, trailer footage of the standalone Black Widow movie has shown similar vials in the past, but this time filled with red liquid. Is it possible that this version of the serum was in fact a derivative of another used by the Black Widow in Russia to improve their dexterity and ability to become incredible spies? If so, it can be said that the movie will indeed be alluded to at the end of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It might even be true that the Black Widows were the ones meddling to set the Flag Smashers out on their mission to eradicate all borders, essentially weakening the United States in the process. Either way, it's looking as if this could actually be the case, so look out for an end credit scene to this effect in the season finale. Number 2, this is not the end of John Walker. After the government convinces Sam to give away the shield that Steve Rogers trusted him with, they decide to place it in the possession of their new Captain America, who is expertly portrayed by the one and only Wyatt Russell. But unlike the last Cap, John Walker is not a super soldier and battles to succeed under the immense pressure he has been placed under. Finally realizing that it is next to impossible for him to achieve the things that Steve Rogers did when he was still alive, Walker descends into darkness, finally taking the one remaining vial of Super Soldier Serum to become an aggressive version of America's greatest hero. In the last episode, things got even worse, with the death of his partner Hoskins bringing out the worst in him, causing him to obliterate a Flag Smasher by the name of Nico while the whole world watched in horror. Fans of the comics are aware that Walker's version of Captain America was always going to be a big baddie of the franchise, with Steve and Bucky really being the only super soldiers to ever deserve the power that the serum gave to them, making them more of what they already were. And while we don't think that Walker will be carrying on the mantle of Captain America, with the government likely taking the shield from him due to this terrifying outburst, we don't think this is the end for Wyatt Russell's character. In the Marvel comic verse, he actually goes on to become another hero by the name of US Agent, who does a number of off-the-book things for the United States government. Since the entire reasoning behind the franchise has been to show how a world power like America cares next to nothing about its veterans and heroes unless they can be used to prop up the country, it only makes sense that the government would use someone like John Walker to great effect. They would never waste someone who has the powers of a super soldier after all. That being said, we'll have to see what the Falcon and the Winter Soldier has in store for us when it comes to the continuation of Walker's story. Number 3, Sam Wilson will take on the mantle of Captain America. After Steve Rogers gave Sam his shield towards the end of Avengers Endgame, a number of fans took to social media to moan about how Bucky should have been given the opportunity opportunity to take on the mantle of Captain America. And while we do believe that Bucky is indeed worthy of the name and is shown to have unrivaled skill with Cap's shield, there's no way that the public would accept him as the leader of the Free. This is especially true considering how he has become known as the Winter Soldier over the past couple of years, committing atrocious acts whilst under the mind control of Hydra and Baron Zemo. We have also learned that Sam feels like the shield belongs to someone else, which is why he ended up giving it away in the first place. We do, however, believe that Sam thought this because of the outcry of fans and the public in general after being designed as the new Captain America. He is black after all, which is something that a few fans seem to have a problem with. The show has, however, tackled this in a few ways. First off, they have introduced Isaiah Bradley, who was actually the first Captain America in the Marvel comic verse that the serum was tested on. Since Isaiah is black, this has taken the stigma of a black Captain America away. We also hear a young boy refer to Sam as Black Falcon, which he took issue with as he doesn't want to be designated by his race. In other words, it looks like Sam is building up to be the next Captain America, not the next black Captain America as everyone seems to say. Why is this a topic? Number 4, the show will introduce the Thunderbolts. We already know that fans have an intense love for anti-heroes as seen by the popularity of characters such as Deadpool and Venom. What you might not actually know though is that a team of anti-heroes similar to DC's Suicide Squad actually exists in the Marvel comic verse, with many expecting that the Falcon and Winter Soldier might be setting this team of misfits up for their little own adventure in the future. We are of course talking about the Thunderbolts, who are a team set up by General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. This could also be another great tie-in with the standalone Black Widow movie, which has already featured a de-aged Thunderbolt Ross in its trailer. It also makes sense that the first semblance of the team will be introduced towards the end of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, as two of the team's most prominent members are Bucky Barnes and Baron Zemo. Quite a bit of time has been spent on the chemistry between Sam, Bucky, and Zemo throughout the runtime of this franchise, and since we expect Sam to take on the mantle of Captain America, this will leave Bucky and Zemo with something important to do. We also know that the Black Widow film will be introducing the characters of Yelena Belova and Taskmaster, who have two been recruited into the team at one time or another. There are a number of anti-heroes that could be brought on, culminating in a possible fight with the new or young Avengers moving forward in the MCU. Number 5, the new role of Sharon Carter. Another character that has been featured quite prominently in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is Sharon Carter, who has been hiding out on Madripoor over the last few years after being labeled a traitor by the American government. And although she seems to be doing pretty well for herself by selling art on the black market, she has also shown a willingness to help Sam and Bucky save the world once more. If Yelena Belova does indeed become a member of the Thunderbolts and passes up the opportunity to become the new Black Widow as she did in the comics, this leaves the space left by Natasha Romanoff's demise open. And who better to fill this position than Sharon Carter, who has been shown to have her friends' backs whenever they need it. She already has a close relationship with Sam, who will need someone at his side if he does end up taking on the mantle of Captain America. Since Natasha did this for Steve, it's only fitting that Sharon would be the person for Sam. Number 6, the identity of the Power Broker. Last but not least, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier did well to introduce us to the Power Broker, who is the one in charge of the creation of the new and improved Super Soldier Serum. The identity of this man or woman remains a mystery to this day, with some even suggesting that Sharon Carter could be portraying the role in the villain as the series continues. Others have suggested that the Power Broker could be the Mandarin, who is said to be the villain of the upcoming Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings movie. After taking a look at the past experiments with the Super Soldier Serum, we have a feeling that we might be coming into contact with Arnim Zola once more, who appears to have resurrected himself as an artificially intelligent life form. It would make sense considering how the seeds have already been laid for his return. But what do you think? Be sure to let us know in the comment section down below. We'll catch you down there.